To our community in Anne Arundel, Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz on a Monday morning. A sunny, little chilly Monday. We're going to warm up nice today. Cold front moves in tonight to chill us off for one more day. And then by Wednesday, sunny and in the 80s. Galen, you know, it's time to get out the golf clubs.
Not yet. I still don't have the itch, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, can I just tell you, the idiot that is the savant that does the radio show on 8 to 11 every morning, that would be me. Toughed it out in freezing rain like a moron and played golf Friday.
You know, you felt good about it. Now you have a good story to tell.
I broke my own rule. Because I believed the weather report that said it was going to be, that there was going to be a break for about 3 hours. And by the way, the first 3 holes were fantastic. No rain, nothing. Yeah. It was, 61 degrees. So my rule is if it's under 50 degrees or it's raining, unless it's a major tournament you're playing in, there's no reason to play golf.
That's a fact.
Right?
Yes, you should know better than that.
So
yes.
By the third hole, when it once started raining at the fourth hole, I should have quit. But I thought that all the people that were playing with me in the group, and I won't say any names, Beck, Falcone, I won't say any names.
You can't quit once you start.
Oh, they did.
You can't.
Oh, they did.
You can't. I don't respect that.
Oh, I gave it to him.
You got to fight through it.
I gave it to him too.
You should.
You
got to fight through that.
You got to fight through it. Once you start, you got to go.
Once you start. Now, you could be in the parking lot and go, no.
Yeah,
That's fine.
And by the way, they were the last group to go off, and it had started raining by the time they went off. It would have been fine for them to say, nope, we're not going to do it. They were the last group of our group because we tee off, we all tee off on the first tee. So they're staggered tee times. And they were the last group to go. They could have said, no, not going to do it. It's raining, not going to play.
You got to know, you got to understand.
Once you swing that tee-ball, you got to play it.
That's right. No DNFs here.
No DNFs, no. Speaking of golf, though, if you're a big golf fan, the Genesis Invitational did not disappoint this weekend. When I saw the reason they had a weather delay on Saturday, 4-hour weather delay, 66 degrees, sun high in the sky, not a cloud anywhere to be seen, and they had a 4-hour weather delay. Why, might you ask? Because they had sustained winds of 30 to 35 miles an hour, and trust me, folks, when I tell you this, the way they have those greens set up on a PGA tournament, 30 to 35 mile an hour winds will not allow a ball to sit on the green.
That is correct. That is correct. Good win for Max, though, wasn't it?
Was it a good win for Max, or was it just one of the most, Sam Burns just choked it away on the back nine, didn't he?
I guess so, but, he had to hold it off on it. For your first win to come in extra holes is pretty good. So.
Yeah, but Sam Burns led.
And he played great down the stretch. In order to have a comeback, somebody else has to give it up.
Sam Burns shot 38 on the back. He's leading the tournament the whole time. He goes into the back nine with 13 under with a 2-stroke lead and gags it with a 38 on the backside.
Yeah. How come Tony Finau can't get a win?
I don't know. And it's been almost since he popped his ankle out of joint in the par 3 and then popped it back into place to win the par 3 at the Masters. It's been real difficult for him since then.
Well, the guy, he shoots a 66
and still can't win.
And still can't win. But I just, almost shot a 64.
And
he shot
by the
64.
way, and he should have shot 63, but he gagged it on a 3-foot putt with the tournament on the line.
Sure did. And that's why I mean, the way he came back and wanted in extra holes was pretty clutch after that. But
well, that shot he made on number 11, the second playoff hole from behind the tree to get it on the green was amazing.
Incredible. I don't. You can look at that. You know, they talk about Phil Mickelson's imagination and everything. I'm like, I don't. I think he just hit it and said, "Okay, let's see what happens." I'm like, I'm going to hit it right into the face of this hill, and let's see what happens. And it tied it up there, and he made the putt.
Still, one of the greatest shots in golf history, though, has got to be Phil out of the pine straw on 13.
There's no doubt. No doubt about that. No doubt. Did you watch any of the Daytona race?
I watched all of the Daytona race. I had it between golf and Daytona, watching it. I'm very excited for the winner, Bell, getting his win.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got past Kurt Busch, because Kurt Busch was holding him up, he was 4.5 seconds behind, but he had fresher tires, and he did one lap. In one lap, he went from 4.5 seconds behind to 3 seconds behind. I went, uh-oh, Logano. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And it did my heart good to see Joey Logano not winnow.
Yeah, well, it was a fun race. I was hoping Chase Elliott would pull it off, but
he had too many cold trickle moments on the last few laps where it would spin out.
Did. Sure did. Well, they weren't his fault, but yeah, Cole Trickle will do it all by himself with nobody within 100 yards.
Well, that's what got me started back in NASCAR was the movie Days of Thunder, because I'd gotten to where as a little kid I've been to NASCAR with my dad and everything. But then as a teenager and everything, you know, you got baseball and football and other things get your thoughts. And so then I saw the movie Days of Thunder, and it got to fire, and I was like, ooh, wow, maybe I need to look at this sport again. And then I realized that once I started getting back into it, that the movie was just complete hogwash. That you're not going to spin with 10 laps to go, flat spot your tires, and then come back up through the field to win a race. That's not happening.
No, it was a fun race though. I really enjoy that course, and I'm curious as to see what the long-term impact of that is.
Well, they did this because of COVID. They did this because of COVID.
No, I know that. I know that, but I wonder if in the back of their mind they're like, how can we? Because it was an exciting race.
It really was.
Right. And you know, they love super speedways. The super speedways have better ratings, and so they'll wait and see what the ratings say. But I think the drivers enjoy.
Yeah, but you get both of it. You get the aspect of the super speedway there because they're on the oval for quite a while too, and so that car gets going pretty good around the oval.
No, I get that, but you know, you can't have 3 races at one track. You just can't. You can't sustain it. You know, people can't afford to go to 3 Daytona races. It's just really way too expensive. It's just way too expensive. So, what do you do then? Do you? And plus, you don't want to take away another race from another track because there's already a ton of tracks that aren't getting any races.
Well, it's still a great race. It was a great race yesterday. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the road races a little more than I do the oval races.
I hate the half or the 2 mile tracks like the Vegases and even
Pocono.
Texas. Charlotte's okay. Pocono's terrible.
Michigan's horrible.
Michigan is terrible. The Brickyard's great because it's the Brickyard, but I think Bristol this year on the dirt's going to be pretty exciting.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be great.
I'm really curious as to how they're going to pull that off. That'll be fun. But, again, there's some – you know, NASCAR's in an interesting place right now. So I thought they did a really good job of the race. And, you know, those in-car cameras are just spectacular. So – it's still not. It's nowhere near. I think that. So I watch all of F1. You know the great thing about F1? There's no commercials. None.
No, they do it like soccer. This area brought to you by, and they put it up in this corner.
No, they don't even do that. You know, they just run the race, and NASCAR they take 7.5 minute breaks. So, yeah, it's too. Yeah, it's hard to get into a group. It's good when there's a great golf match going on, and you're like, well I guess I can watch 5 holes.
Well, but they also do a good job. NASCAR and golf both does a good job with the playing through or driving through, where they got the split screen where the commercials.
All the time.
No, they don't do it all the time. But that's a good look.
I find that incredibly I guess I don't really like it.
It's because you got the attention span of a 3-year-old.
Well, maybe more like an 8-year-old. You know, a 3-year-old can focus on something for longer than an 8-year-old.
Well, that's probably true. Probably true. Hey, speaking of focus, I need to focus on a commercial break right now. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen Unall from Life South joining us because the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
We face choices every day. Some are unimportant, some are life-changing. What about the choices you make every day? Take the stairs or the elevator, baked or fried. What if your choices meant you are likely to die of heart disease this year? Palm Garden of Ocala is here for you when recovering from a hospital stay. With Palm Garden's Fast Track program and state-of-the-art facility, we have skilled nursing, therapy, and everything you'd expect for the best in care. Call 352-854-6262 for more information.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Galen Unall brought to you he's from Life South. He's brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give Palm Garden a call, 352-854-6262. Also like to thank the family-owned and operated Penn Flooring, serving Marion County for over 30 years. They're a full-service flooring company that does commercial and residential. Go see their showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call, 352-351-3420. Go back out to the phone lines. Galen Unall from Life South joins us. Galen, I saw this story last week in the news, and then I saw it again this morning. I said, I really should bring this is something Galen and I should hash out and get to the bottom of.
All right, let's see if I agree.
Okay, watch out, Florida man. Anytime a story starts out with watch out, Florida man, it's one of those hold your beer type things.
Absolutely.
There are Florida grannies running around down there now. 2 women dressed like grannies tried to skip the line and get the COVID vaccine. Florida Department of Health in Orange County noticed 2 women who were apparently wearing bonnets and gloves despite the 60-degree temperature while they had their vaccination cards showing they'd already received their first dose. Employees noticed issues with their names and birth dates not matching up with their ID. That's when police were called. It was discovered the women were actually 34 and 44. Body camera footage shows police putting the women in scolding the 2 wannabe Grammys for jumping in line. They've stolen a vaccine from somebody who needs it. But they were trespassed but not arrested. I mean, is that where we're at with this vaccine now, and that with this hysteria that we're hearkening back to the old ladies' night when guys would dress up like women to go to the Bud Light ladies' night? Now people are dressed up like grannies to get in the line?
I guess. I read that, and I'm like, come on, that's funny. Because you could get the vaccination if you want it. So it's been offered at my place of business twice. So I'm amazed by that.
I mean, that's taking Golden Girls to a different whole realm, isn't it?
It really is. It's just, I mean, I guess you give them an A for effort. I don't know. That stuff kind of doesn't. I just laugh at it.
I want to know
People
how
are
they
stupid.
I want to know how they fooled them the first time. If their IDs and age didn't match with their cards and with their registration cards and all, how'd they get the shot the first time?
Well, at some point, you probably should just give it to them because
You waste the
sure
first
it's
shot if you
effective.
don't. Yeah.
Right. I just laughed at it. I thought it was kind of funny.
I just
But there are much bigger things to worry about than that.
when I saw it, when I saw, well, I just unplugged my headset, so I can't hear anything right now. That's wonderful. Hold on, I stepped on my headset and unplugged it. Couldn't hear a thing.
Understood.
That's perils of live radio. But when I saw this story, I go, if you'd have put that much ingenuity into maybe a community event in your community or something, what could you have done to help your community? I mean, because that took some planning.
Well, yeah. I mean, these people are obviously incredibly selfish. So don't think for a second that they care at all about anybody other than themselves, right?
No,
So
of course not.
Let's not get crazy.
That's exactly the only person they care about is their self.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
isn't that the society we live in nowadays?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that's
That's a
why.
problem, yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't know their neighbors. And so, remember when we were kids growing up, you knew the people that lived next door to you. You knew the people that lived 3 doors
Absolutely.
down, 4 doors down. You knew the lady
Sure.
that lived a street over in a house to the left from where you were, and they all knew you.
Oh, yeah.
They all knew you and knew your parents' phone number.
Yeah, absolutely. Now kids don't even knock on each other's doors. They're
No.
like, hey, can you come out? They don't even do that anymore. They're like, oh, why would I do that?
Yeah, they
That's
text,
weird.
"Hey, I'm in the front yard. Can you come out?"
Yeah,
And I'm
correct.
like, the door was open. All you had to do was come knock on the screen. No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
I just don't understand where we went sideways. And I know there's lots of studies and everything, but something happened in the 80s where we went away from caring about each other and only caring about ourselves. Because I remember growing up in the 70s. I was a child of my teenage years in the 80s, but my birth to 13, grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. And you had neighborhood cookouts, and you would have birthdays, and you would invite your neighborhood kids to the birthday and everything. That doesn't happen anymore. I just don't know.
I'll tell you exactly. I think it was a big moment. I grew up in the 80s.
Yes.
I was born in 1970, and I think you could point it to one thing. With Walsh when he was gone missing. I think it changed every parent's attitude.
When Adam Walsh went missing.
Yeah, that's correct. And I think if you were to look at one sentinel moment, it was that one.
And it was because
I think.
Do you think a lot of that had to do with this happened when Adam Walsh went missing? It was in the middle 80s, and 24-hour news had just become a thing. 24-hour sports had been there since 79, but CNN and all had just rolled out the year before. And so this was their first big where they plastered Adam Walsh on TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People thought, oh, God, they're snatching up little kids. Look, there's been creeps and perverts snatching up little kids for as long as you can think. But this was the first time that something that happened in one area of the country was broadcast all over the country, and everybody all over the country go, oh, we had that happen here too before. Oh, we've had that happen here. And the hysteria that took place. I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah, and I really do. I believe that's where it started. And I think if we're going to look back, that's where it would be. It would be that spot right there. Because at that point, the whole thing with the 80s is all the kids were latchkey kids, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And then that all stopped with Adam Walsh. And I remember as a kid, because, it happened in Florida, and you talked about it in school, like, have you seen Adam Walsh? I'm like, first of all, I'm in Ocala. who am I going to see it out? Where am I? I was always amazed by that. But I think that's the moment. And after that, parents became much more helicoptery. And then you also have that, our parents, for example, went to work and they're like, you could figure it out.
Yeah.
And now all that changed after that.
Yeah, well, I was 11 years old babysitting my 8-year-old sister and our 8-year-old neighbor because we all would come home. I'd come home from middle school, they'd come home from elementary school, all on the same bus, and it was my job as an 11-year-old to babysit them. That was just how it was, and nobody thought anything was wrong with that.
No.
This is 1977.
No, at an 11-year-old. At 11, you're not even supposed to be home by yourself until 12.
Right. And back then, this was 1977, an 11-year-old, I had the stove on. I was making hot chocolate in the wintertime and stuff for the kids. And, it was, nobody thought anything about it.
No, it's a completely different world. But that's what I would put it to right there.
And the thing is when people say that these things didn't happen before, I mean, Mr. Silcox lived on Carrollton Drive, right? You knew that Mr. Silcox was a weird man that sat around in his underwear a lot and said things to children. So you would just walk on the other side of the sidewalk. Nobody bothered Mr. Silcox because you knew it just wasn't safe at Mr. Silcox's house. You know what I mean? But everybody knew he lived in the neighborhood. Everybody knew to stay away from him. The parents would whisper and everything. But I don't ever remember anything being done to Mr. Silcox. So perverts were there. My sister used to.
Well, the assumption was that Mr. Wilcox was a pervert.
No, well, Mr. Silcox in 1983 got arrested for child molestation. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. After he got arrested, we all were like, well, we knew that. New kid in the neighborhood. Why'd he stop by?
Sure.
My sister got solicited 2 or 3 different times. My older sister walking home from school in Jacksonville, and this is the mid-'70s. Hey, you want to get in the van with me, little girl? I'll take you home. And my sister was like 13, 14. She always refused. So people to think that this is a new phenomenon, it's not. What's new is that the news broadcast it nationwide. That's what made this new. The sickos were always out there. It's just you didn't realize how many until you started comparing stories nationwide.
That's correct. And again, that's what I attribute it to. And now if you were to, so for example, I lived over right behind Highlands, and we used to ride our bikes all the way out to the Paddock Mall. That you just couldn't do that today.
Oh,
your parents were like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? It's a different world.
Yeah, I lived in Holmesdale, right at 95 and Lim Turner in Jacksonville. And we would ride our bikes 2.4 miles because I had a little digital. It was cool. I had a little digital speedometer on my bike. You know what I mean? Because I was
all right, big time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Big time. We'd go 2.4 miles to the Gateway Mall. And we would lock our bikes up. We'd go walk around the Gateway, go to the Orange Julius and get one of those drinks at the Orange Julius. Remember Orange Julius? That's what I miss in the mall, is the Orange Julius. But you get the Orange Julius drink. You go to see the double feature karate picture at the Norwood Blue and Gold for the Saturday. And then you bicycle home. And as long as you were home by dark, everything was peachy keen.
That's right. Dinner time. And don't be late for dinner. Don't be late.
No.
But again, it's a completely different world, and it's much easier to track people, and I think, and I tell my wife all the time, she says, oh, it's a crazy world. I'm like, no, it's safer now than it's ever been. I mean, almost every kid that's over the age of 10's got a phone, and there's video cameras everywhere.
Well, we're up against a break. You're a parent. I want you to come back with me for 5 minutes, and I want you to talk to me about how you think it's safer now than it was when we were kids. We'll do that next. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen Unall from Life South joining us, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The relief bill to help financially strapped Americans is set to be voted on this week in Washington. House Minority Whip Steve Scalise, the Republican from Louisiana, tells Fox News this wasteful spending has very little to do with coronavirus relief.
It gets worse than that, unfortunately, when you look at the bill that Pelosi's bringing this week. Less than 10% of the money in this massive $1.9 trillion bill is for health-related items. I thought this was supposed to be about recovering from COVID.
If passed, Speaker Nancy Pelosi's district in California will get $112 million for transportation. The legislation is 591 pages long. FAA Administrator Steve Dixon said in a statement he had directed aviation safety experts to issue an emergency airworthiness directive. Their sights are on Boeing 777 airplanes equipped with Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines. This engine type is like the one that failed after takeoff on Saturday in Denver, Colorado, raining down debris in neighborhoods. United Airlines is the only U.S. carrier with this type of engine. USA Radio News.
There's so much hand sanitizer on the market, but beware, not all hand sanitizers are created equal. That's why you want to use 2020 Safe hand sanitizer. You can trust the hand sanitizer on 2020safe.net to be made with the highest quality ingredients, American made with American ingredients, employing Americans. Log on now to 2020safe.net and order your 1 liter today. Normally $29.99, but reduced to $19.99. So hurry while supplies last and receive a bonus. That's right. You'll receive a 30-count bottle of Immune Booster, a $39.95 value, free by using code GCN at checkout. Right now, click 2020safe.net. That's 2020safe.net to get our 1 liter bottle of high-quality hand sanitizer with your free bonus. A 30-count bottle of Immune Booster valued at $39.95. Remember to enter GCN at checkout, and the bonus is yours free. 2020safe.net.
Visit the Appleton Museum of Art to see the new special exhibits, Memories and Inspiration, the Carrie and C. Betty Davis collection of African American art being shown for the first time in Florida. The 62 extraordinary paintings, photographs, sculptures, and more are on view through March 28. Visit on Saturday or Sunday in February and enjoy free admission. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Oh, hey, Grandpa.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to a Monday Ocala Talks. I'm Tom Schmitz. Galen, you know from Life South joining us. Galen, you said before the break that you tell your wife kids are safer now. It's safer. The world's safer now than it's ever been. Are kids safer now because the world's safer, or because parents are more vigilant about the creeps and the wackos out there in the world?
No, I think it's just a safer world. One, we know about these creeps, right? The kids are more protected. I mean, we'll just look at cars alone, whether it's medicine, the lifespan's increasing. The world is a much better place. I was telling somebody that 2019, if you look at it, there were fewer deaths by famine, fewer deaths by war than in recorded history, percentage of population. So I think it's a better world.
On the world scale,
a better world.
Okay, I agree with that.
Than any other time that humans have existed.
Okay, then let me ask you this: are kids safer now because it's a better world, or are kids safer now because parents are more vigilant about the wackos that are out there?
I don't think the parents necessarily have anything to do with it. Specifically, I think they want their children to be safe. So I don't. Again, I think it's a bunch of factors. I just do. I think a lot more people are vigilant about looking for signs, and that creepy guy in the van is going to get reported really quickly.
Uncle Rico can't ride around anymore.
No, even though he's great.
He is great.
Yeah,
he's great. Napoleon Dynamite. But that's the kind of van that would run up a red flag.
Yeah, I would hope so.
A guy with a video camera and a van. That's a red flag.
Sure it is.
Do you think though that a lot of these, because I don't remember the date lines to catch a predator. There wasn't shows like that when we were kids. You didn't have guys like Grady Judd down in Polk County and Billy up here in Marion County who put up stings on a regular basis to get perverts off the street. I don't remember, and maybe it happened and I just don't remember it because it wasn't on the news like it is now. But there's a lot of fail-safes in place with the Amber Alerts and everything. Well, there's a lot of
absolutely.
There's a lot of safeguards in place.
Well, you didn't have the time, right? The media time, and it was so expensive back in the day to do any kind of TV coverage, right? Because whether it was film, and even when it went to VHS tape, it was expensive. Now, filming is the cheapest part of any production.
100%.
And you can put it on YouTube. You can post it on every social media account. You couldn't do that, in the 80s. You just couldn't. So again, I think that's part of it. And then our resources are so much more vast, so that if something does happen, we're more likely to figure out who did it and things like that. So it's just a safer world.
Can I go on record as saying, I personally, just me personally, am very grateful that we didn't have the luxury of being able to film everything so easily in the 80s.
Yeah, sure. Oh gosh,
I would still be in a state penitentiary probably.
Well, for example, like the things we did in the Navy, if that was on YouTube today, we'd be going to jail and court-martialed.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a different world, right? I mean, but also what is deemed appropriate and what is not is completely different.
Although
so
I get upset with the four guys, and the name of the show is escaping me right now, but it's the four guys that goof on each other, Sal and Q and those guys. You know the show I'm talking about? It's the four best friends.
Jokers.
Impractical jokers. Impractical jokers.
That's it,
yeah.
Impractical.
Those guys. I do get aggravated every time somebody says, "You like that show?" I can't watch it. Somebody goes, "Why can't you watch it?" Because they're making money doing what me and my buddies did 25 years ago. They just filmed it.
That's right. That's true.
We used to
that's true.
This is how bad we were. We would walk through the mall, and you remember back in the day, the nail salons were very prevalent in the mall. There was 3 or 4 different nail salons in every mall and everything.
Absolutely.
And they were right out front. They weren't big rooms anymore. They were right up front and everything. I would walk by with my big bellowing voice and yell, "Hey!" You'd see people snatch with the files. I'm sure people's fingers got cut, everything. We were just being obnoxious idiots in the mall. We're just being dumb.
Again, that's what kids do. And it's just you can't do that now.
No.
It's on your permanent record. And, yeah, your life is over.
No,
so,
you did stuff like that now. And follow. First off, you can see right now all these people that get blamed for being Karens. They're just having a breakdown of the moment, and it gets caught on videotape, and so they're a Karen for the rest of their life. Maybe one of the nicest women in the world. That just you don't know what led into her. You know, a Karen losing her mind, whether she had a bad day, she found out somebody in her family had passed away or something. You don't know what causes somebody to lose their mind. But all we see is that 30-second snippet and go, "Well, that woman's crazy."
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, Tom, I have to go.
I know. Where's the blood?
My wife's car is getting towed to the dealership to get fixed.
Uh-oh.
So, it's not a good morning.
What happened to it this morning?
I don't know. Coolant light came on, and then I poured it in, and it just started pouring out of the bottom.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, not good.
Sounds like water pump problem.
Let's hope not.
All right. Well, where's the Bloodmobile?
Hey, Bloodmobile today, we're actually at the YMCA right there, the Frank DeLuca YMCA.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
Well, no, that's not where my car is going.
The man likes his name on buildings.
Yeah, there you go.
All
right. Be good. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Thank you. Bye.
Galen from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring. Family owned and operated in Marion County for over 30-plus years. They owe every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solutions for your flooring needs, and they have experience in both commercial and residential fields. Go by and see their warehouse at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. Also, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center helps bring Galen to these airwaves every day. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how Palm Garden is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, please give them a call at 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262. Thanks to all the folks at Palm Garden, bringing that Galen on every day. That's really good. Some people say, I had a lady stop me over the weekend and say, "You and Galen have a pretty good rapport. I appreciate y'all's 30 minutes together every morning." Also ran into another lovely lady at the post office who Susan and I were in line doing some stuff for Just Shipped. We were at the self-serve thing doing Just Shipped. And the lady said, "Y'all got a real efficient system going there," because Susan was scanning, I was putting it in the mailbox. And she goes, "That's a real efficient system." And she was standing there with a bunch of packages. I go, she owns Just Shipped. If you gave packages to her and all, you wouldn't even have to be standing in this line to watch how good we are. She goes, "Just Shipped." I hear that on Ocala Talks on WOCA. I hear about that place on Ocala Talks on WOCA. Susan goes, "Well, that's Tom Schmidt." She looked at me, she goes, "Oh, yeah, well, I listen to you every morning. I hear about Just Shipped." Just went right back to Just Shipped. Which is what we're supposed to do in radio, folks. We make partnerships with marketing partners with different companies, and if they remember the companies more than they remember me, then we're doing our job. And this lady, remember, just shipped. So thanks for listening out there. If you're listening this morning, you know who I'm talking about. Thanks for listening. And, hey, use Just Ship next time. You won't have to stand in line at the post office like you were doing Saturday. Shameless plug there. Shameless. When we come back, I got a story about a number. I'm going to give you the number of the day. Tell you why it's important to the Ocala area. Also, how long could we be wearing masks? Dr. Fauci made the rounds on the Sunday talk shows, and he gave us the answer in his mind how long it'll be. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.
What? Mike Scott Plumbing does irrigation too?
Yeah. I told you they have packages where they take care of everything.
Yeah, but I broke it, so they're not going to cover that.
But with their annual irrigation maintenance plans, you never have to pay for another service charge or broken sprinkler head ever again, regardless of the fault.
So that means I break it, they fix it.
That's what I said, Mr. Genius.
Okay, you win. How do I sign up?
I thought you'd never ask. Call Mike Scott Plumbing today and ask about their irrigation maintenance plans. 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Tuesday, February 23rd at 10:35 a.m., Higher Education Happenings presents the College of Central Florida's virtual preview night, happening March 2nd. Dr. Raphael Robinson, Director of Admissions, and CF Admissions staff Marissa Brown and Caitlin Kirby will discuss the process. You'll hear about academic programs, financial aid, and how to get started at CF. Attendees will have a chance to win a scholarship to pay for one 3-credit undergraduate class. Good info from CF and WOCA, The Source.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community